Do you wish that you could accomplish more? Hi guys, Derek here for Leadership Lessons. If you like this video, be sure to click the subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications for new videos. In this video, we are going to examine the Pareto Principle, or the 80-20 rule, and how using this principle will help you accomplish more. Guys, want to give a huge shout out to Denise, one of our subscribers, who gave us the idea for this week's leadership lesson principle. Many people wish for more time in the day and find that they were only able to accomplish a little bit of what they wanted to get done. This has much to do with the Pareto Principle, or the 80-20 rule. The principle gives us the guidance as to why these people are seemingly very busy with little to show for it at the end of the day. How can we as leaders embrace this principle to gain more traction in productivity, our ability to lead, and our ability to advance our organization? Vilfredo Pareto was born in Italy in 1848. One day while he was in his garden, he noticed that 80% of the healthy pea pods were generated by only 20% of the pea plants. Upon further investigation into wealth, Pareto discovered that 80% of the land in 19th century Italy was owned by only 20% of the population. This generalization led to the Pareto Principle that 20% of the input will produce 80% of the results. Now, this principle is not a hard and fast principle. In some situations, there might be a 90-10, 70-30, or an 85-15 split. However, there is an unequal distribution of input and output. For organizations and leaders, understanding this principle can lead to an increase in productivity. In an organization, there are several instances where this principle can gain the organization additional traction. Oftentimes, you'll find that 20% of the marketing results in 80% of the acquisition. 20% of customers account for 80% of the organization's revenue. 20% of sales consultants generate 80% of the sales. 20% of the leader's coaching will result in 80% of the results. And 20% of your expenses will equal 80% of the operating cost. So why do people and organizations focus on the 80% that only produces 20% of the results? It's human nature to look at a task list and go after the easy to do or the quick things to check off the list because we feel that we are highly productive in this instance. The problem with this logic is that while it keeps us busy, it does not get us the results we're looking for. As a leader, the goal should be to find more time to work on the 20% to grow your business and your people. Leaders will find that by focusing on ways to coach their people to develop, they will have a multiplier effect on their business. If you as a leader can take an individual that is part of the 80% that produce only 20% of the results and move them to the 20% that produces 80% of the results, how much did you just grow your business? Think about it in your own life. 20% of the locations, such as work or home, most likely make up 80% of where you spend your time in a day. Think about the clothes in your closet. Most likely your favorite 20% of your clothes are worn 80% of the time. What separates the top 20% of producers from the other 80%? The easy answer is output, or the results the top 20% get. In reality, the top 20% focus on the 20% of their work that produces the most results. They also understand what gets them the results they produce and how to replicate those results. The best practices for top producers are to understand your inefficiencies, utilize the energy that was used for frustration to produce results, dedicate time to items that produce your results, and create a process or system to allow for you to focus the time on the 20%. Warren Buffett had a pilot that worked for him. One day, Warren Buffett approached this pilot, whose name's Mike Flint. He'd worked for him for some time. Buffett asked Flint to make a list of 25 items of everything that Flint wanted to get accomplished. Once the list was done, Buffett asked Flint to decide which of the 5 items were the most important and to circle them. Flint decided which 5 items were the most important for him accomplished, and once those 5 items were completed and then communicated, Buffett told Flint that the remaining 20 items on the list were to be avoided at all costs. The remaining 20 items, or 80% of the list, would simply distract him and keep him from accomplishing the 5 most important things for Flint. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video or found it informational, be sure to click the like button, We would also love to hear what you would get accomplished with focusing on the 20% in the comments below. And make sure to click the subscribe button to get all the latest videos for leadership lessons. Thanks again.